Welcome back, everybody, to Zielonka. We are making our way through what I think is our third year on this map. I'm planting red beets. I've got sorghum in the ground. It's already popped. I've got potatoes in the ground. They've already popped. I've got parsnips in the ground. Half of them have popped because I planted half of them last month, and the other half is this month. We're putting in red beets now. We're going to put in carrots in a couple of these fields. After this, after we move into June, I've got a lot of soup to sell. And what I was saying right before the intro ran is that maybe with the next farm sim, we're speculating, maybe it's coming out next year. Maybe it will be current gen platform only, because I've been seeing a lot of games release, or games be announced for 2024 release that are exclusive PlayStation 5 and Xbox One. No, close. Xbox X support, not the old gen support. So I don't think it's very popular these days to support new games on those old platforms. Maybe we'll see for the very first time consoles be able to support 4X maps, or maps larger than a standard size. Maybe we'll see more trees on standard maps because consoles will have better memory support for those. Maybe we'll have higher slot counts. Hard to say. Hard to say. Rapid Rob, what's up, sir? What's up? We've missed lots of spots, Tukey. We're coming back. We're going to fill these all back in. You're not new here. You know how we work. Right? We like to plant in stripes. Right? We like to plant in stripes. It works well for us. Hope everyone has had a good Christmas yesterday. Hope everyone was able to relax a bit today. We actually opened our presents late last night. In fact, we were opening presents around this time last night. So you may know my oldest daughter, she works at Red Lobster, and well, they decided to open on Christmas Day. We were not fans of this idea at all. And well, apparently some guests came in, I don't know, about 10 minutes before they were supposed to close. Totally rude. Hope you all never do that. So we didn't eat dinner until around 9:30 last night. We opened presents starting around 8:30 last night. But at any rate, that is behind us. Hope you all saw a couple map videos drop over the last couple of days right before Christmas. We had 4 maps get released from Giants toward the end of last week. At least one really should never have come out because it was just an abysmal mess, quite frankly. Candling, oh man, I like me some Candling. That map got updated and released for FS22. It is a fabulous 4X map. I strongly suggest you'll find that map video and take a look at that. Download that. Perfect for multiplayer. Got some very, very large fields. Nowhere, Kansas was released. That is now out in the wild. 16X wilderness map. Build a civilization. Build to your heart's content. And if you're Tukey, plant it all in poplar. See what happens. And then Monday. Was it a Monday? No, Monday was Christmas. Sunday night we got another video released of DR Modding's new map. I can't pronounce it. I can't remember its name. It was an Iowa map. So that is now out also. That's getting a lot of views. I don't know if anybody else has covered that map. I would think they would, but maybe they were thrown by the Christmas holiday and haven't had a chance to do any coverage on it. That's definitely worth checking out, although there was a little bit of drama in the comments, but that's all been revised and settled down. That is the exact name, Rapid Rob. Taton? I don't know. It's like missing letters where it should have letters, in my opinion. Y'all speak a different dialect out there. It's a really nice looking American map. It's got probably 7 or 8 farms pre-set up. Arable farm areas, cattle farms, chicken areas, pig areas. A really fabulous farm down south that has sheep, chickens, pigs, cows. And then a big pig area across the road. A big, more modern pig area. It's definitely worth checking out. I've been trying to figure out what we might be playing next year. When this map dropped with the premium expansion, I had plans to basically run this map through the end of the year and look for something new to do in January of 2024. Bergness, what's up? Is your country still exploding, or has the volcanoes gone to sleep? Well, you know, Tiki, we're not going to do that. But we do need to get back to our honor mode live stream. I might do that this weekend. Last weekend was a little hectic. I did finish it out in tactician mode. Oh, maybe Santa dropped a giant snowball down the volcano's mouth, plugged it up. I wanted to do a Dark Urge play, and I thought about doing a Dark Urge play over break, but I'm gonna, you know what, I started a new Red Dead Redemption 2 game. I did. I started a new Red Dead 2 Redemption game. I only got about 70% of the way through the first time I played it. Looks like the most recent I played was March 2021, and then I just stopped. So I just decided I have no idea where I was, no idea what I was doing at that point, more than 2 years later. So we just started fresh. Captain Kiwi, what is up, sir? What is up? Merry Christmas to you too. I'm looking for folks that want to join in on the New Year's live stream. We're going to start out in ATS, and then we will jump over to Farm Sim after a couple hours. We'll be streaming for 4.5 or so hours from 8 o'clock our normal time, leading up to midnight my time and a little past that. Jacer has a computer question. Too many devices for best performance plug USB directly into computer. Is there such a thing as high-speed USB hub? Nah, kind of, but not really. So, as Will has said, you can get a USB 3 hub, and you need to make sure you plug that into a USB 3 port on your PC. Oftentimes, USB 3 hubs will have a mix of USB 3 and USB 2 ports. So it is very important to know on the back of your motherboard which ports are USB 3 and which ports are not. And obviously plug in your supported USB 3 devices into those USB 3 ports. And then USB 2 devices into the USB 2 ports so you do not sacrifice speed. So, you know, things like keyboard, mouse, other peripherals like a joystick, a shifter, those can all be on USB 2 ports. They're not transmitting a whole lot of data. And obviously they're not transmitting any data if you're not hitting keystrokes, if you're not moving the mouse, or anything like that. But USB devices like webcams or external drives, card readers, right? They're going to be bursting data, and you're going to want to make sure you match those up with the proper port speed. So I have, and it may be in the description. I have a five port powered USB hub that I use here on this system. And what I like about it is it's switchable. It's got little buttons. I can turn on and off ports. So I think they make 7-port USB hubs like that. I really like the idea of having switches so I can turn off and on USB devices without having to unplug them and plug them back in, right? So yeah, powered hubs are important if you're going to be probably plugging in more than just 2 or 3 things. Because USB header can only push so many volts and so many milliamps out the header. And you know, you can get a 7-port, 10-port USB hub. You can easily overload the power capabilities of the port. But a powered hub will eliminate that problem. Yeah, that old hub, maybe, I would hope it's not USB 1. Right? It may be just USB 2. Let me look at my description here. Oh, here it is, yeah. Right here, a Sabrent 36 watt 7-port USB 3.0 hub with individual power switches. Down in thy description. This is exactly what I have. Does that still work? I don't want to search, stupid. I want to go there. Yep, that's exactly what I got. It's powered. It's USB 3. You just need to make sure you plug that into a USB 3 port on your PC. And then you got the little buttons, right? Turn on and off. I will say that is an Amazon affiliate link. I do get a little bit of a oh, we're out again. I do get a little bit of a earn back on anything earned off that link. Please, by all means, do all of your Amazon shopping using my affiliate links. That'll be fabulous. I've had games before that did not play nice with a wheel. Right? Like if a wheel and pedal were plugged in, it just completely, the game just completely goes ape shit. Like, you know, you walk to the left and you can't do anything until you unplug the wheel. And then suddenly everything's okay. So having a hub where you have the switches, right? You can be like, oh, if I want to play, you know, this game, I can't have my wheel hooked up. So I know my wheel's in port 3, so I just turn off port 3. Push up a button. You're done. You want to play Farm Sim again? You put button on 3. Fire Farm Sim up. Your wheel's working. Just let me know in Discord. I'll share information out with those that are interested. My plan is to be on this map, harvesting root crops is my plan. And like I said, I got to figure out what we're going to play, what we're going to stream next year as far as the map. Dwayne, what's up, sir? How you doing? How's it go? You know what? This video is brought to you by Talger and Coutier Farms. Thank you for being farm barons. You know, for years I would say Talgar because, you know, I just assumed it was G-A-R. And then one day he's like, he never pronounces my name right. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I saw, oh, it's G-U-R. That's not how I would expect it to be. But at any rate, there you go. If I wait for Nebraska lands 16x, I might be not streaming for a long time. It's hard. That's hard enough to pronounce. that I'm probably never going to get it right. Car shuttle guy. Are you saying that you are a do you park cars? Are you one of those what do they call those when you valets? Chaser valets for valets tractors at the fancy tractor dealership. Oh, this isn't taking too long at all. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more passes. We're done. And then we'll go sell some soup. See how much soup we've earned. Well, Captain Kiwi, he may have a deadline. He may have a deadline of FS25's release. Not announced yet. Lot of hope. Lot of hope. Lot of wishes. A lot of dreams. We'll just have to wait and see. Right, our next chance for any type of announcement is going to be January when the guys at the office get back. We're also wondering where Girl Harvest is at. Where is it at? I thought it was to be released in 2023. No, I don't think we're going to have ray tracing. If Giants can figure out how to do dynamic dirt without breaking your ability to create fields and such, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, right? Lots of times people reference cattle and crops with that capability, but cattle and crops also had baked-in fields. You couldn't change them. You couldn't add them because anything that wasn't a field was like hard as concrete. I would too, Schultz. I would too. You know, we got, even on the low end, we have 6 cores now. Right, your Series X, your PlayStation 5s are all rocking like, what? 16 cores? I don't know how many cores they have, honestly. Yet Farm Sim barely uses 4. Basically 1 core, 2 cores maybe, 2 threads. Well, Will, I mean, in 19, we had micro stutters when we did any sort of field work on a 16x map. Now we don't. I mean, if you can make, if you can use the same principle of your render distance, right? Right now, I'm not rendering anything behind me, right? None of that was being rendered when I'm looking this way, right? So if you follow that same principle, if the dynamic ground is only rendered or only calculated for whatever you can see, maybe that alleviates some of the issue. Right? I don't know. I like to see more, I like to see orchards. I like to see tree nuts. Shake them trees. Peanuts would be cool. Rice crops. An Asian map would be neat. I mean, I think we already have, you know, we have the principle right here, right? We have the principle of drawing out rows of fruit trees or rows of vines. So to go with a little bit bigger trees, a little more spaced out, and then the various harvest methods associated with those. Well, it's just because they think Unreal Engine is going to be the answer to all their dreams. Or they think one of the other various engines out there is going to be the answer to all their dreams. So, you know, it's like comparing, we're comparing a game that is 100% dynamic, right? I could start the stream and this map look one way, I can end the stream and this map look completely different. That would be a dynamic map versus games that are completely baked in. SnowRunner, completely baked in. You can't change a darn thing about the environment other than to drive through it and put some ruts in the ground. And that's all you can change. If that's what you want in a agriculture simulator, is the inability to make any changes, just put some ruts in the ground, well, you got cattle and crops. That didn't fare well for them. Right? The dynamic nature of Farm Sim is what really makes this stand out. So, if they can make the game be dynamic with whatever engine it is, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, way too often. All right, we gotta go get more seed. Way too often, the game is compared to other games that are very, very fully baked. The maps are baked in. Nathan, good evening. Thanks for dropping by. I would like to see more building packs. We've talked about this before. The ability to take the concept of building a boat, building a piano, building a roller coaster, and extending that to building farm buildings. Right? I want to be able to place a foundation and be able to deliver building goods and have a farm building built on my farm. And then I can do a start from scratch I can deliver logs and build a farmhouse. I can deliver lumber and construct a barn. Maybe I draw out where I want a fence to be, and I have to deliver wire and wood posts, and I get a fence put up, right? That would be interesting and cool. That would be taking the roller coaster concept that we had in premium expansion for 22 and really expanding on that and growing it in whatever's next. Well, Captain Kiwi, you may be remembering an alien gym map where he had, and I think he has that mod brought forward to 22, the buildable buildings, where you put the building down unbuilt, and then you click a trigger and like it just builds in front of you. But what I'd want to do is I'd want to put down a foundation. Then I have to go and bring a certain amount of logs to it, bring maybe shingles to it, maybe bring some metal rolls to it, and then once the raw materials were delivered, or as they were being delivered, over a period of a couple months, you would see the building get built. Desert Ox, Merry Christmas to you too. Hope you got everything you were hoping for. Hope everyone was safe with their travels. Right, I'm just envisioning how can we take what we have and further refine it. Right, we took the build mode. We took placing objects and building things from 19, the first year, or the first game version that was really a thing. And in 22, they seriously refined build mode, right, with these menus. We don't have, in our owned equipment, we don't have endless scrolling of buildings and fences. Remember in 19? When you want to put a fence in, you had to put a section in, click, and then you had to put another section in, click, then you had to put another section in, click, and hope they all lined up, right? But now we have this great, just draw it out. All right, that's an amazing refinement. So, buildable buildings, in my opinion, would be an amazing refinement to that kind of cutesy, let's build a roller coaster, right? Mechanic. Or let's build pianos here on Zielonka. Let's build boats and have them launch into the lake in Silver Run Forest. Instead, let's do something and make it useful. Right? If I wanted to build this shed, right, maybe I place the concrete pad down. Right? The concrete pad comes down by itself. And then maybe I have to deliver a whole bunch of metal rolls. Right? Or maybe I have a way of making corrugated steel. And then I deliver those here. And then over the period of a month, maybe 2 months, this building comes to fruition. Raphael, good night. Good evening to you. You wanted a new Ferrari? Well, that implies maybe you already have one. fancy, fancy. Calvin, what's up? Oh, well, you know, some days you get stuff what you were not expecting to get, right? Some days I like to trick and play with the game's parallax. Oh, look. See, that's... See, I'm not supposed to be able to look through my building. Semi-tractor's not being rendered anymore. Nor are half the things in the background. Right? To that conversation we had a little bit ago. If dynamic ground was that way, such that things weren't rendered when they weren't seen or shouldn't be seen, we can render a lot more detail on what we are seeing. I got some signs I posted in Discord. I got some cool signs. I got an LED sign I need to figure out how to mount that the kids got me, so I can put up on it, you know, if I'm recording live on air, I can say, and it'll be on a programmable LED sign outside the room. Apparently it connects with an Android phone, so... That was a cool, fun little gift. Well, I mean, there's always next year. You just gotta make the socks you got last. Now, did you get the PJs that have booties? Then you could say you did get socks. They just were attached. Calvin, what's up, sir? What is up? How you doing? I got the wife some socks at Tractor Supply. I figured I'll go to Tractor Supply. They'll have socks that are actually warm. Right? I got her a winter jacket there too. You know the problem with women's jackets? They're never actually warm. They're either giant poofy monstrosity looking things, or they're little thin delicate things. It's like, come on. She wants a warm jacket she can wear when she's outside. So I was like, you know what, let's go to Tractor Supply. They have nice heavy duty warm jackets that are not monstrosity bulky things that make you look like that kid on the Christmas Story where his arms can't drop down. Jay, so I don't see why not. I mean, really, all the Stream Deck does, it's a giant button box. It's a program. It's the ultimate in programmable button boxes. So, you know, you could tell it to V, right? V is lift, right? Yeah, V. So you can program a button that when you push it, it hits V. You know, it's the equivalent of hitting V on your keyboard. And you can give it a nice little picture logo. There's button covers you can buy on the internet for Farm Sim. You might be able to find some free ones on Reddit or whatever. Or you could just go load school and just say lift implement on the button, right? And when you push it, it just sends V to the game or to the computer. And you hit it again, V lowers it, right? So it could just be a toggle, lift and lower. I have not used Sim Dashboard. I assume it does pretty much the same thing. Just uses an API to take an input from a tablet and run it into the game. Exactly, Captain Kiwi. I think last year I got her a jacket from the men's section. Men's jackets, right? Just about anywhere you go to shop for a men's jacket, it's more function than form. Women's jackets are more form than function. I mean, you mentioned Photoshop, right? You can get there are Photoshop templates you can get for the Stream Deck. You can tell it to launch applications, shut down, right? You can have it show you things on the displays. I think you got the same one I've got, a 15 button, right? So if there are things you do a lot in Photoshop, things you do a lot in Blender or whatever other applications you use a lot, if you can do it on a keyboard, you can tell the Stream Deck to do it on a button. Yeah, sadly though, I guess I bought it too small. We gotta go there tomorrow, I think, and see if I can get a bigger one. I mean, I used my son, he's 10. I was like, put this on, see if it fits. I'm using you as your mom's, as an analog for your mother. So he's trying on the women's jackets in the Tractor Supply. He's like, Dad, can I take this off? Because it's really hot. I was like, oh, then this is perfect jacket. Well, she has been known to wear his shirts. So I thought this is fine. This would work. Captain Kiwi, you're only laughing because you wish you had thought of it yourself. Alright, almost done this field. Then we're gonna go sell some soup. Let's see if we can't bust $100,000. Yeah, I would say the Stream Deck is the one PC accessory that you didn't know you absolutely needed until you got one, and then you're like, how can I not have gotten one of these things sooner? Once human beta? What's once human? I don't know if I've heard that one. I went through a lot more beet seed than I went through parsnip seed. Oh, I think we might have to repair a tractor. Oh. So, like Green Hell? Or is it Green Hell not hard? I don't know. I really don't do survival stuff much. Roast parsnips. I've never had a parsnip, I don't think. Honestly. I don't think I've ever had a parsnip. They're like white carrots. At least that's what they look like in game. Wife made some pretty good, I don't know if they were like candied carrots, but they were in kind of a sweet sauce the other day. She had it paired up with garlic, red potatoes, I think. It was supposed to be parsley, red tomatoes, maybe red potatoes, and we had some pot roast. Lifehawk, what's up? What's up? I joked with a guy at work about Green Hell. I was like, yeah, Green Hell. It's the first time you play it, you die before, right on the beach, right before it even goes nightfall, and then you're like, oh. Right, you died of being too cold. So you figure out how to light a fire, but then you die because you are dehydrated. So then you light a fire and figure out right how to get fresh water, and then you die because you know you got bit on the toe by a crab or something, and then the fourth playthrough, you light a fire, you drink some water, and you kill the crab. And then you eat the crab, but then you die because, you know, you didn't cook it. And then the fifth time you play through, right, you finally survive the first night. But then you die in the morning because you didn't build a shelter. And it's like, sorry. It should be called 10,000 Ways to Die. I would just let the wife's walkie-talkie battery die, and then you don't have to worry about it. Well, then you know what? People would probably be testing. Is there really 10,000 ways? Are there really 10,000 ways to die in this game? And then they'd come back and they post a big angry rant on Reddit that there are only 9,984 ways to die, and this game was a complete farce, and the developers should be ashamed of themselves. I did not buy anything today. But what you oh so conveniently are doing for me is providing me a fabulous transition into something that I want to talk about before we go too far further. And that is that we are partnered with Apex Gaming Computers. They currently have a 25% off sale. We have 3 custom configurations. They are linked down in the description. Code HAPPYWINTER will give you 25% off. We've got the Yeoman starting at $1,300. I think 25% off gets you to your for just over $1,000. Homesteader, which we have configured here, you can be out the door $1,372.46. This thing would run Farm Sim more than happily at 60 FPS and give you plenty of room to grow into the future with maybe Farm Sim 25. I'm sure Farm Sim 25 will run great on this. 600KF processor, 16 gigs of RAM, which is ever so important. A 3060 Ti graphics card, 512 gig super fast NVMe drive, 750 watt power supply, so it's plenty of room to grow and expand. Free RGB, because everything with RGB makes it faster. Anyway, Apex Gaming Computers, go check it out down in the description below. Rancher is interesting upgrade for sure. Where are we at? 25% off on that. 2212. I think your good bang for the buck is right here with Homesteader. Once again, Apex Gaming Computers. 25% off with Happy Winter. Let's go make some money. Yes, international shipping can be awful. They did run a promo one time that I know of that was like free international shipping. And I think maybe they also included like duties, import duties on that. But that was a while ago. Oh, watch out, people. Pretty sure I left the trailer down here. I hope I left the trailer down here. You know, there may already be a game out there called 10,000 Ways to Die. There are a lot of people that are into those survival games, but it's just not my cup of tea. Seems like you need to either know how to play those games or you can't play them at all. None of them ever have any good tutorials. I did leave the trailer down here. I mean, if you have to drink every 30 seconds, then what? You have to go to the bathroom every 2 minutes? Alright, come on. There we go. How many more you got to spawn? I didn't get soup from yesterday, so they should have a fair bit of soup. We're gonna make a fortune. I'm gonna turn around and say we might make more than 100. We might have 120,000 when we're all said and done. It's fair where we're gonna sell this. $14,000 liters of parsley soup. Soup, some more soup. Supermarket. The supermarket looks good to me. 14,000 liters of parsnip soup. 8,000 liters of beet soup. 12,000 liters of triple soup. 10,000 liters of potato soup. And 12,000 liters of carrot soup. All right, put your bets in chat right now. How much money are we going to get off this? I'm going to say we're going to double our money. When I'm done selling soup, we're going to have over 120,000. Catch you later, Captain Kiwi. I don't know if you're going to have enough shelving space for all these soups. Here we go. Too late now. Bets need to be in. We are well over 120. 122K. And we're not even done. We still got soup left. Suki, you did not win. Tuki did not win. Everybody make sure you go to Epic Games. Every day between now and New Year's, they're giving away a free new game. If you haven't been going over there the last few days, you've been missing out. Today is HR Simulator. That's where you can assign stupid videos and trainings that your employees have to watch. And then, you know, fire people for doing weird things that are obscure policies. And if you're lucky, you get to sit through 3 or 4 interviews. Talk about green hell. That would be green hell right there. That sales point was not rigged. It's not to Schultz's sell anything. Sell point. guess we can officially talk about this now. It has now been officially announced. My son knows that he's now been formally invited to go back to PAX East in March. So we're going to be back PAX East next year. Anybody that's in the greater Boston area during that week, you can get a day pass, multi-day pass. Come check out PAX East. I don't know yet if Giants is going to be there or not, but we are definitely going to be there, me and the kid. I told him I want him to do I want him to be a roving reporter for the YouTube channel. And I want him to report on the game conference, we'll call it that, from the perspective of a 10-year-old gamer. And hopefully we can get some interviews with developers. And he can tell them what he thinks about their games, what he likes about them, and things like that. Also going to be at the National Farm Machine Show in Louisville, Kentucky in February. Anybody that can make it out to Louisville, Kentucky around that time frame, love for you to drop by. We can get connected. Go out to lunch, go out to dinner. Just hang out at the machine show. Look at all the cool farm machinery there. Maybe go to a tractor pull in the evening. Artemis, good evening, sir. Good evening to you. It is not near Toronto. Not at all. Oh, you know what I found out? Something interesting. And I'm wondering if the ridging is causing my weeds to not appear. I was talking about this last year on this map about how I was not getting weeds on my root crops. Right, so my potatoes, my parsnips, my red beets, my carrots last year, no weeds. Well, this year, I have weeds up here on my sorghum, but that's it. These potatoes were planted before this, prepped the exact same way. The only thing I did, I used the ridger to ridge, and then I planted my potatoes to get that fertilizing bonus. I used my ridger obviously on my parsnips. We just used the ridger on our red beets. When we advance tomorrow, you're going to find that we still don't have any weeds on these root crops. So we're going to go take care of the weeds up here. But it started to make me wonder if the act of ridging eliminates weeds. Because all the fields were prepped the exact same way. Be interested to know if you all have experienced similar things with your fields that you've ridged. Yeah, every night they have every night at the National Farm Machine Show, they do a tractor pull. And then the last day is the finals. I didn't go last year. Instead, I was back at the hotel piecing together the daily videos. I want to do something different this year also at the Farm Machine Show. And I think Raz is going to join me there. Where I want to do when it's not busy. So we need to show up first thing in the morning when they open and get all these interviews done before it gets super busy. That way, the sales guys will be more inclined to entertain us, right? They don't have anything better to do. Basically to try to get them to do sales pitches, right? They're sales guys. What do me as a virtual farmer, right? What do we need to know? Sell your product to me. And it'll be interesting for products that are already in the game to do that, right? This vehicle, this implement's already in the game, right? Sell it to me. I want you to be my sales guy at the virtual shop. Or if your thing isn't in the game, then why should we want it in the game? He was there. He went there a couple years ago. He went there the year before COVID. He met some farm tubers. I think he met the Walker brothers, amongst others. So I've already got the hotel booked for both locations. I've got my pass for PAX East. I ordered his pass, so that's all but guaranteed. He's hoping someone from Larian Studios will be there because, you know, he's big into Baldur's Gate 3. I was like, maybe. They might have some voice actors like do a panel. So I need to make sure he goes to that. But with more and more of these, like E3, it's shut down. I think there was another kind of game show. They're shutting down. With more and more of these big shows shutting down, these kind of shows that are more geared toward independent development studios, they're going to get more and more of a presence. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That's it's like that's probably about a 3.5, 4-hour drive from me, Dan. It's in January. Did I look at my sales today? I don't need any of that. Oh, what a good sale on a root crop harvester. Or a bigger tractor. Right now, this is the largest tractor we've got, 180 horsepower. Does somewhat limit what we can get done on our farm as far as machinery and everything. All right. With that, park that. And we'll make it tomorrow. Is that Yingling, Dan? Am I remembering my brews correctly? So there we have red beets, no weeds. No weeds in our red beets. I'm thinking our ridger is eliminating roots, or not roots, weeds. Which is interesting because, right? Because we have the whole. That's too big, right? We had. Where are weeders at again? Right, we had this awesome transformer hoe that was released with the horse pack that would have been perfect to weed between the rows of our root crops. But if we apparently use the ridger, we don't have those happening. Well, I don't want to. It's $200,000 and I only have 120. Carrots. Crunch and Munch. In fact, the wife got me 2 boxes of Crunch and Munch for a stocking stuffer yesterday. And I told her, you know what the problem with Crunch and Munch is? The boxes are never big enough. The boxes are not even single serving. Because you're still eating, and then you get to the end of the box, and you're like, why is it empty? I don't understand why it's empty. I'm not done. Tuki, you only like Cracker Jack because you like the little toy that comes with it, the little tattoo. Did you also buy your cereal based on the prize inside? It's like you only want the Cocoa Krispies because of the prize inside. Well, you know, in any other culture, that's called a fortune cookie. I would tell you what, both require you to pick things out of your teeth when you're done. Go sell some eggs. We'll pick up some more soup. The bakery. Wonder where the bakery is. There it is. Oh, really? Is it like collect? Is it collect UPC box tops, or is it? It's probably create an account online so they can track you, and then scan with your phone the QR code on the box or something so they can track your purchases, and then they probably want to suggest, you know, auto shipment of cereal. A book? What, kids don't read books? Wow, they're slow to sell. $1,800. Can I get out of here with this giant trailer? Apparently not. You know what we need? We need a way to be able to push. You know, growing up, I would just heave ho and just push this thing around the corner. We need a way in game to do that. Just to give the old heave ho. What are we stuck on now? Oh, are you serious? And then, you know, maybe a yank on it a little bit. I mean, imagine. I mean, there's a whole collector's market that's now dead. People collecting old cereal just to get vintage in-box toys. There will be no more market for 20-year-old, you know, Cocoa Puffs. Hathan Farmer. That's not Hathan. That's Han the Farmer. Han the Farmer. Zielonka's good. Zielonka's good. I wouldn't call it a new map anymore. Alright, it's been out for a good month or more at this point. New from Giants' perspective, for sure. That should empty, yeah. Okay. Farmers market today. The light pole is made of unbenionium. It's just indestructible. Special deal on soup. Look at that. We made $80,000 in soup. That's over 3 months. Root crops are definitely worth it. Oh my gosh. And I would check your game log and see if there's anything in there. When you say no mods, do you mean no active mods or no mods in your physical mod folder? And are you trying to load Giants maps or a mod map? I would look in the game log to see if there's anything there that may be giving you any sort of a hint as to what's going on. Typically 85% it is well into loading the map. And typically by that point it's loading in vehicles and buildings that are on the map. Oh, where are we here? Again, it's gonna be looking in your log file, which is going to be in the same folder as your game saves, your username, documents, games, my games, Farming Simulator 2022. There'll be a file in there called log. See if there's anything that stands out there. Are you trying a brand new save, or are you doing an old save? If you're trying to do an established save, what does it do on a brand new game save? Maybe there's something corrupt in the save game. It's all going to be looking at the log then. Any Giants map, 85% is a little interesting. Because again, at that percentage, it should be loading in placeable buildings. It should be loading in starting equipment, owned machinery. So we're gonna put carrots into this field, and that field. That will finish everything out. And then August, potatoes, August. And our earliest root crops are August. So July we'll either skip through July, or maybe just do some contracts in July. What kind of contracts are out there? Nothing much. Nothing much. Do this, then we'll come back filling in one row, and then we'll come back filling in the other row. But I mean, I'd love to do that. It's just too expensive. I want to get this 148. Almost able to buy it. Because I want to get this to the point where we're ready to harvest our root crops for our New Year's live stream. And then we will tag team the root crops. I'd like to know what map would you like to see me play in January of 2024? It's not going to be Kindling. Those fields are too big. No. Those fields are too big, too. Now we know multiplayer doesn't work out. Not when my schedule can just completely go haywire based on what happens on the Giants Mod Hub. So the reason we're getting these weird, interesting patterns on the field. Last year we harvested in that direction, and I harvested this field in probably three segments, and that's why we're seeing these patches of bare ground and leaves. Bergenland, Chris, what's that? Is that a map I did a video on? I don't remember anything with that name. Then again, I don't remember the names of the maps I did videos on last week. As far as fields that need fertilizing, we need to fertilize all of those a second time. We fertilize these 3 second time, and then we'll be done. Next year, we bought the soup factory at the end of last harvest season, and I put a couple carrots back down there. But this year, we're going to split our crops between soup and preserves, and see how our money goes. Ronnie Gold Gaming, what's up? What is up? Carrots and parsnips, we go through about the same amount of seed. Red beets, we go through more seed. Oh, it's treating me good. Treating me good. We're making good money here on this map. Working just the old root crops. We made 80,000 in 3 months. Just off of soup. That's on hard economy. How did potato chips fare, profit-wise? Chips are a little bit more of an investment because you got to put down an oil mill, right? So you got to make your canola oil. I think it's canola oil for the chips. But it should fare well as a second tier production. Does it take any oil? Yeah, I think canola is a good oil, right? You got your grain header, so you don't need a corn header to do that. It's pretty good yield. It's a small seed, so it's pretty cheap on the seed. Olive oil is a massive investment. Kind of wish olives and grapes were not such a big investment up front. If you've got to plant your olive grove and put down your grapevines, that's a lot of money. Easier to do if the map has them already placed. 4 more passes here. And we'll head across the street. Ronnie, when you do your potatoes, do you ridge the soil beforehand? I think I figured something out tonight. I think if you use the ridger, you don't get weeds. I've prepared all my fields the same way. And the only fields that we've gotten weeds on are ones that we have not used the ridger on. So, for my potatoes, which are right in front of us here, I ridge the soil because you get a fertilizer bonus. So for me, ridging the soil, then planting potatoes, right? I prefer to do that over planting potatoes and then running through the field twice with a fertilizer. I only have to run through it once. And in 2 harvest seasons, I've not had weeds on my potatoes. I've not had weeds on any of my root crop fields. The only weeds have been on traditional grain fields. And all the fields go harvested to then a disc harrow. So we're shallow cultivating. We should have lots of weeds after seeding and planting. So I wouldn't have thought that ridging would have done that because, well, it's, if you look at it, the ridger is just a power harrow in the front and then basically shoots in the back to form the loose soil into those ridges. So again, it should promote weeds as opposed to inhibit weeds. Alex, thank you for the sub, man. If you're on the chat, go ahead and say hi. That way we can give you all a big heck yeah. Yeah, I don't plow. I avoid plowing. me go see if I can fertilize this field. I don't think I can put fertilizer down. I have to wait. Thank you for the sub. Is it I'm gonna butcher that. We'll just say thank you. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to do that. I gotta go hit these other fields. Yeah, I noticed beets use up a lot of seed. Well, I think beet seeds are bigger. I don't recall ever planting beets to know how big they really are. But I think beet seed is bigger. IRL, which would mean that you would use more. Since we're measuring how many seeds we can put within a liter. Whereas carrots, parsnips, just like canola and grass, is a very, very small seed. So you can put a lot of seed per liter. I think on the Giants Academy, they have listed so beet, here it is. Beets 40 liters per hectare for beets. I see they fixed this. That was broken. That was wrong when they first put that out. Parsnips is 10 liters per hectare. And carrots are 10 liters per hectare, right? Grains. So barley's 500 liters. Wheat is 500 liters. Canola's 200. What about grass? GRASS. Do you have it? Oh, why are you people? People are terrible. All right. And then when your cedar is like 16 liters, right? You burn through it pretty quick. I remember growing up we had a garden, and I remember like carrots were like, you open a little packet of seed and you're like, is there anything even in here? And you see a couple flecks of something, right? Oh, those are the seeds. Those little pieces of dirt. We can hit this field with fertilizer. I like to flying storks. What do y'all think of flying storks? Just get out and shove this across the gap. There we go. I mean, some of those vegetable seeds are pretty small. I think tomato seeds are pretty small too. Seedless watermelon confused me. How can you have seedless watermelon and have watermelon to plant next year? What? How does seedless watermelon come about? If there's no seeds, then how do seedless watermelon exist? It's like, what is it? Those, there are oranges that have, like, no seeds in them. But then there are oranges that are loaded with seeds, right? You're like, oh my gosh. Who bought oranges? These are the wrong kind. I got seeds all over the place. Alright guys, we are approaching our 2-hour time limit. I want to go ahead and say thank you all for coming out and watching on this post-Christmas live stream. Hope each and everyone had a Merry Christmas and hope you have a safe New Year. If you do not get back here before then, we will be doing a New Year's live stream this coming Sunday night on the channel. We'll be streaming at 8 p.m. Eastern for 4 hours from 8 p.m. Eastern my time, which is Eastern U.S. time, to just after midnight, maybe 12:30 a.m. We'll be streaming ATS for a couple hours, then Farm Sim for a few hours. We'll take a break every hour to bring in the new year in that given time zone. Just have a fun time to celebrate the closing out of 2023 and the start of 2024. I don't know if we're going to get any more mods dropping this week. I don't know if we're going to see any more maps drop this week, if there's anything scheduled from Giants. Still looking for that straw harvest. Don't know where that is yet. Hopefully that'll drop this week. Till next time, happy farming.